After relocating to Florida and building out a new home gym, a lot of people have been asking me why I replaced my Hyper Pro with something new. Today I'm going to walk you through what I replaced it with, why I made the transition, and how that decision has shaped the current structure of my training. If you're a home gym owner trying to figure out what actually belongs in your space and what doesn't, this should help. Let's get to it. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Chris. This is Strength and Steel Reviews. I'm a certified personal trainer and a home gym equipment reviewer. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know that I'm a fan of Freak Athlete. I've reviewed their Hyper Pro. I'll link the video below if you want to check that out, since it's the subject of this video. I've reviewed the ABX bench, and then most recently, I've reviewed their adjustable kettlebell. Most of their equipment is built around versatility, and the Hyper Pro is a perfect example of that. It's designed to be multifunctional. You can do everything from Nordic curls and back extensions to leg curls and leg extensions, and with the purchase of an additional attachment, you can even turn it into a full GHD setup. It's pretty wild. In my review, I discuss all of these different functions. I review each of them. As with any multifunctional piece, some of the functions ultimately perform better than others. That's just the nature of the game with pretty much all multifunctional equipment. But ultimately, that isn't why I abandoned the Hyper Pro. I abandoned it because I appreciate, now more than ever, simplicity. You see, when I began this whole home gym journey, like many of you probably, I was attracted to the pieces of equipment that completely maximized space. If I could perform 9 different functions on one piece of equipment, then yeah, that seemed like a no-brainer. I was gonna buy that. But the more time I spent with machines like the Hyper Pro, the more I came to understand the importance of setup time and perhaps more generally of access. I discovered that if I didn't have an easy time of using one of my preferred functions of a multifunctional piece, then 2 things would likely occur. 1, I wouldn't look forward to using it, which is a problem because I like to look forward to working out and to using my equipment. And 2, I would lose time setting up the machine for its intended use. And you know what? 3, I wouldn't do it at all. And with the Hyper Pro, there were really 4 functions that I used most often, that I enjoyed the most on it. The first would be the hyper extension. Many of you know that I really appreciate a good hyper extension, especially for the lower back. Second would be a Nordic curl. As hard as they are, as difficult as they are, I find that they're fantastic for my hamstrings, and overall, if they prevent injury, I'm game. Number 3 would be a leg extension. For me, I found that isolating my quads via the leg extension is one of the best ways to develop my quads, which are notoriously stubborn. And number 4 would be the leg curl, because I want to be able to train my hamstrings in their shortened position, not just the lengthened position via something like a stiff-legged deadlift or a Romanian deadlift. But those were the 4 exercises that I would use week after week. Hyper extensions multiple times a week, usually leg extensions also multiple times a week. Unfortunately, having to use those 4 different movements meant that I had to remove and reapply the leg developer, which ultimately proved to be a real hassle. It proved to be a real hassle because every time I would look at the Hyper Pro and I would see that either it did or did not have the leg developer attached, well, I would breathe a sigh of obvious aggravation and consider whether it was worth it. Because the truth is, if the leg developer was on, I had to remove the spring collar from the weight horn, then I had to remove the plates, then I had to remove the actual leg developer, find somewhere for it, and then adjust the machine so that I could set up for either the Nordic curl or for the hyper extension. And the same kind of aggravation would work in reverse as far as installing the leg developer and then the plates and then the spring collar. As I say these things aloud, they sound kind of whiny, but the truth is, I know the truth, and it is annoying in the moment. Often these transitions occur when I'm in the middle of a workout, and it's just not what I want to do, and I don't want to think about doing it. A lot of us have minimal time. Maybe that's why many of us got home gyms to begin with. And so none of that was really working for me. For many of you guys, that may not be as much of a frustration. But for me, in my home gym, with my experience, the way I train, obviously I like to look forward to my workouts. It's a kind of temporary freedom. It's a big part of my day. And for me to look forward to those workouts, I discovered that I needed my gym to be simpler. I needed nice, easy setups whenever possible. And so that's exactly what I did. I took my time, I was honest with myself about the exercises that I actually enjoy, that I wish to do, and I wish to progress doing. I didn't really fixate on equipment that would do as much as humanly possible because I already accepted that I probably wasn't going to do most of what the machine had to offer. So if I was going to pick multifunctional pieces, rather than have it perform like 8 to 12 functions, I would rather perform something like 2 to 4. And again, a lot of the process was just about me being honest with myself about my training, which is what I would encourage you to do as you look at the plethora of equipment that's available today. Because these companies are getting extremely creative and it's awesome, really cool. And if you think you're gonna use everything that these multifunctional pieces offer, all power to you, that's great. But if you're like me, you may discover that having access to all those exercises sounds really nice, but in practice can prove to be more of an obstacle than anything. So after selling the Hyper Pro, I knew there were 4 functions that I needed to replace in this gym. And that was the leg extension, the leg curl, the Nordic curl, and of course, my coveted hyper extension. So to do that, I had to pick out essentially 2 pieces. The first was a dedicated standalone leg extension, leg curl machine. You may have seen my review already, the Mikolo Towerette. It's beautiful. I mean, I just sit down and I can be using the leg extension, or I remove one pin and then I'm transitioning into a leg curl. It's amazing. For me, that makes me excited to use it. That means I'm going to use it multiple times a week, and that's exactly how it is. For me in my training, I love having a separate piece. And again, it doesn't perform one function, it still performs 2. I'm just not cramming it all into one piece. Now, what I use to replace the Nordic curl and the hyper extension, well, I'm seated upon it. This is Tib Bar Guy's Nordic back extension, the version 3. And this thing is great. I was trying to decide between I think the Nordstick Pro it's called, and then Shogun's Nord Bench. I forget all the different names, Nord. I'm sure I'm showing you screenshots, so you know what I'm talking about. But I was recommended this one by you guys. I looked it up, it's perfect. I mean, the pad is nice and long. I think it performs 4 different functions technically, but the only 2 I care about are the hyper extensions and the Nordic curls. And transitioning from one to the other is really easy. It also takes up considerably less space. There's less knobs, less adjustments. It's fantastic. This is exactly what I've been searching for. And genuinely, I have you guys to thank for that. And the reason I bring up any of this is, I guess, for 2 explicit reasons. One, I want to encourage anyone that's watching this video and they're building out, whether it's a shed or it's a basement, a 1-car, 2-car garage, a closet, whatever, figure out what works for you. Don't necessarily pick the flashiest piece of equipment. Don't pick the equipment that does necessarily the most unless you're totally certain that you want to use it for all the designated functions, or at the very least, most of them. But instead, be honest with yourself. What are you really planning to do in your home gym? What are your goals? What are your objectives? What do you need versus what do you want? Because it can be really attractive watching these reviews of these really sophisticated pieces of equipment online and feeling captured by these really charming personalities and buying them because you've been sold, you've been convinced. It's happened to me and it'll probably happen again. I mean, I guess that's part of the fun of being involved in the home gym landscape, is that there's a lot of innovation right now and a lot of flashy equipment. And it's nice to have, but it really should only be owned if you plan on using it. All equipment is cool, but what is really cool, and if you want to be super cool, it's decking out your home gym to be the most effective and efficient for your needs. Because the whole point of owning it isn't to show people or to tell them about it. No one cares. It's to use it. It's to set yourself up for success. Most of us don't have that much time. We're trying to maximize time. Again, that's why we have a home gym. Many of us have children. We have responsibilities, obligations that take up a lot of time. Don't forget, the purpose of owning your gym is to use it. And if you cram a bunch of unnecessary, complicated equipment that either make using it more difficult or worse, make you want to avoid it completely or just to walk through it, Well, that's not gonna work. After owning my first gym and building out a whole second one, I made a lot of mistakes. I'm trying to amend a lot of those mistakes. I think that I'm going to make all new ones. I don't know what they are yet. So far, I've been taking it really slowly and I like the way it's turning out. But I would encourage you to learn from this mistake and hopefully avoid making one similar yourself. I'm not saying don't buy the Hyper Pro. I'm not saying it's a bad piece of equipment. I thought it was a fantastic piece of equipment. But for me, it just ended up being a little too much. If you spend any time on this channel, then you know what I'm often preaching is for you guys to think for yourself, make decisions for yourself, watch videos like this, watch reviews, go think, examine yourself critically, examine your training critically, decide what works for you, and take your time researching and committing to a purchase. Because once it's in there, man. You got to assemble it. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And if you don't like it, then you got to stare at it every day, resent it, ultimately surrender it to Facebook Marketplace. None of that is fun. But okay, I won't drag on any further. For any home gym owners that feel kind of confused in their gym, maybe they need some help programming, some guidance, keep in mind, I'm a certified personal trainer. I work with home gym owners specifically to help form programs to get them on track. So if you need some help, book a consultation with me using the link below. We'll see if we're a good fit. Otherwise, subscribe for more home gym equipment reviews from a guy that actually uses his gym, from a fellow dad, from somebody who really values time. Oh, and like the video to support the almighty algorithm. I don't know how it works. I don't think anybody does, but when you like the video, it helps, and I appreciate that. And you guys stay strong, and you stay steely, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.